The summer heat of New York City clung to everything, but nowhere did it feel heavier than in the small, overcrowded apartment shared by Alex Rios and his younger sister Sophia in the unforgiving sprawl of Queens. Alex, lean and driven, worked double shifts as a bike courier, his muscles fueled by ambition and the sheer terror of poverty. Chloe was a Vance, which meant old money, Fifth Avenue penthouses, and a life managed by chauffeurs and trust funds. Her father, Senator Marcus Vance, was a political and financial powerhouse. Alex encountered her regularly when delivering documents to her father's high-powered law firm. One scorching Tuesday, Alex, drenched in sweat but determined, presented her with a small, hand-drawn sketch he'd made of the city skyline. He hoped it was a shared appreciation for their city. "Miss Vance," he said, catching her by the elevator. "I made this for you. I'd love to take you for dinner sometime." Chloe didn't even unfold the sketch. She glanced at his courier bag, then at his cheap, sweat-stained t-shirt. Her perfect manicure tapped impatiently against her phone. "Alex, is it? Look, that's sweet. Like a puppy is sweet," she drawled, her voice ice-cold despite the heat. "But seriously? Dinner? Are we talking about a food cart or maybe pizza by the slice? Honey, my dog eats better catered meals. You're ambitious, I guess. But ambition doesn't pay the bills on the Upper East Side. Know your lane, sweetie. It's far, far away from mine." She dropped the sketch at her feet, stepped into the waiting elevator, and gave him a pitying smile as the doors slid shut. The humiliation detonated something deep inside Alex. His sister, Sophia, a brilliant engineering student, gently reminded him that night, "She just gave you the map. Alex, the map to what you need to become." Their single mother simply said, "Just son, let your actions speak louder than her insults. Build a world she can only look into." Alex quit the courier job the next week, as if taking every penny of his savings. In the first light of dawn, there were no more tears in his eyes, only an unbreakable fire. The same kid whose heart had once been crushed under a heel now stood on the rooftop, staring down the entire city and whispering, "I'm coming." He moved their meager savings into a tiny rented garage space in the Bronx, calling his venture Apex Velocity. He lived on 4 hours of sleep, prototyping parts, teaching himself CAD software, fueled by the brutal memory of Chloe's sneer. 5 years later, Apex Velocity wasn't just attention-worthy, it was the name on everyone's lips in Silicon Alley and beyond. He was now Alexander Rios, CEO, the self-made tech prodigy, with a penthouse overlooking Central Park, a penthouse that literally looked down on the Vance residence. The tables turned when Senator Vance's political career hit a major scandal, forcing his entire financial empire to wobble. Alex found himself attending a high-profile corporate charity auction in Miami, where he was the guest of honor. Across the glittering hall, Chloe froze mid-sentence, champagne glass trembling in her hand as she recognized the man everyone was applauding. Calling his venture Apex Velocity, he lived on 4 hours of sleep, prototyping parts, teaching himself CAD software. Alexander Rios leaned into the microphone with the faintest smile and said, "I didn't come here tonight for revenge. I came to remind the world what happens when someone is told they don't belong." There she was, Chloe Vance, a little less polished, a little more desperate around the eyes. She saw him and practically elbowed her way through the crowd. "Alex! Alexander! Oh my God, you look incredible!" she gushed, her voice now honeyed. "I was such a childish brat back then." She leaned closer, her hand resting on his tailored suit. "Marry me, Alexander. Let's merge our worlds." Alex looked down at her hand, then slowly up at her face, seeing the calculation masked by charm. He remembered the crumpled paper and his mother's advice. He gave her a professional, polite smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Chloe, you're right about one thing. I'm a mover, but I only partner with people who understand value, not just valuation. You once told me to know my lane. I did. I paved a 6-lane highway and named it after hard work." Chloe's reaction as the words hit her. "You're asking for a co-pilot position on a journey you mocked at the starting line. The price of admission isn't just a marriage license, Chloe. It's respect. And that, I'm afraid, is a currency you've never learned to earn. He walked away. His greatest love story was the one he wrote for himself.